Jump rope completely changed my whole life, whole personality. I definitely felt like a loser. I wasn't satisfied with everything I do. And a friend of mine was like, you were missing only one thing. 7 months away that I could lick to a jump rope. The next step is to be the #1 jump rope runner in the whole world. One thing about me that I always knew is that I was always going to make it one way or another. Everybody that's searching for advice, so if you're doing something, just...
What's going on, guys? I'm here with Dayan Kolev, the jump rope guy, the most famous Bulgarian influencer on all social media. I've been very lucky this year to meet him, and 4 months later, here we are in beautiful Tulum, Mexico. When I met Dayan, I actually learned a lot of insights on social media, on consistency, on self-belief, and I really think that I need to share those insights because he's a very low-key person, even though his huge public image. So I wanted to start with, how do you even get into jump rope?
Basically, I was a little bit overweight. I was at that point of my career that I was searching for something also business-wise and something that I like to make it into a career in the future. And I came to conclusion that I really like jump rope, I really like sports, and I thought, well, I think I would try to make something from that. So I started skipping, and rest is history.
You said to transition your career. What were your first jobs?
Since I left Bulgaria, I was 18. I was working on the dishwasher, and then around 5-6 years as a waiter. To be honest, I hate my job. I mean, it's not as hard. You'd walk everywhere. Everybody is usually underestimating you when you say you're a waiter, which they shouldn't, because that's actually a pretty hard job to do. And I thought I just needed to change. So first I was setting some different things on the internet, like AirPod cases and stuff like that. Then I was trying to go into trading, but it didn't went super well. And because of trading, I was non-stop in front of the computer. I gained a little bit of weight, so around 15-20 kilos, and that came to a point when I needed sport. That was around 2020 December, 2021 January.
And so that's when you decided enough is enough and you want to start losing weight?
Yeah.
Why specifically jump rope? Why not?
Well, because I thought it's very easy to stick to, because it's not so hard to do. I always liked it. Even when I was a kid, I didn't really skip a lot. I just liked to do it when we were in school and they gave me a jump rope. And I thought it's a very athletic exercise because all the boxers do it. I'm a big fan of boxing. It was very, very exciting for me to just do this and not running. Overall, I think it's one of the most athletic exercises.
Why did you decide to obsess over it?
I thought I'm just gonna try it. You know, you usually come up with an idea and you just want to try it and not build your way through an idea without even trying it, right? So I got a jump rope. I did 1 day, 2nd day, 3rd day. I got obsessed and I thought, wow, this is the thing. I just want to be the best. I was seeing on social media different creators doing jump rope, and I thought, I gotta be the best. And yeah, I just got completely obsessed.
You actually kind of are the best.
Well, when it comes to virality, definitely, yeah, but I know I'm far from the best when it comes to jump rope by itself. My style of jump rope is based completely on entertainment. And of course, there's some hard skills and speed that I do, but it's mainly on entertainment.
I know that you've been posting for quite a lot of years before you reached that point. How long did it actually take you to see your initial traction, which got you obsessed so hard?
I got obsessed probably in the first 3 months. There are definitely some points that I felt I cannot continue. This will not take me anywhere. And there were definitely a waste of time. Well, not as a waste of time. There is nothing you do in this life which is a waste of time. You either learn or yeah, exactly. I just thought I'm not too good at one point, you know. Even though I thought about it, I continued good.
But you weren't good in terms of views, you weren't good in terms of your technique.
From that point, if I was an old Dayan and I was thinking back then, I thought it just isn't working for me. When I see from here now, what I did wrong is I wasn't so consistent. I was posting 2-3 times a week. It was just something like a hobby, not really a job. And like, I wasn't pouring like 100% of my effort into it.
So what happened for you to flip the switch to say, okay, this is now balls to the wall. I want to be a full-time creator. I want to turn this into a movement.
At one point, I was almost there that I could afford living out of jump rope. And a friend of mine was like, you were missing only one thing. You need to post every day. Basically, post every day. And that's it. I started posting. 7 months away that I could lick to a jump rope.
What do you think makes such a big difference between your videos and the rest? Why do you think there's such a huge gap between you and them?
Well, it's not that much of a huge gap. People forget that other people want to be entertained. It's not only about jump rope, of course. There are a lot of things that I try to do that makes my videos more attractive than others, right? But one of the things that I like to say is effing. I try to put everything in one like short video, which is like 20 to 30 seconds. I try to do like a C. I connect it with the music that comes very satisfying. I dance on the beat, like every beat there's like one jump. It's just satisfying to watch.
Do you think that there was just like an aha moment in which you were, okay, I cracked the code and I'm just gonna spam the living shit of this? Or do you think it's like incrementally getting better day by day, whether that be with your technique when you're jumping, whether that be with your script in the video, whether that be with what exactly songs you're syncing to? Do you think that there was like this one video that exploded and then you kind of started repeating, making variations of it? Or do you think it was years of small incremental improvements?
Exactly. I mean, you got better and better and better day by day. With every day, with every video, you see the insights, what's going on, what people watch more, and yeah, just basically every day I did something. But yeah,
this is something that I was talking to the camera earlier about, that one thing I really took out of my trip here is just your obsession with the small things. It might not be like huge spurts of work. It's just, you know, for example, that you want to do 10-20 minutes of jump rope a day, and when you start you go 100% in those 20 minutes. Or if you want to hit 10k steps, if you don't make that full 10k while we're outside, you just circle the house. So it's just like that obsession with the simple things that just confirm your identity to you. Like, I am that guy that will do whatever I told myself I will do, is something that I'm definitely taking from this day.
I would say this identity definitely got worse years by years. Before I became viral, I was completely obsessed with this thing. Everything that I wrote that I'm gonna do in the next 1 day, 1 week, I was doing absolutely everything until it's finished. And that was continually for like about 3 years. Lately, I'm trying to do it as well, but sometimes now that I'm a bit more entrepreneurial and I need to do other things, other things pop off, and you cannot do everything. Yeah, you just need to have priorities and to just do the most important things and so on. But yeah, I used to try to do the little thing, because this actually creates your identity. Exactly what you said. I'm that guy. I'm gonna do everything that I'm.
Did you ever feel different, or were you like that from day one?
No, I wouldn't say I was never like that. That everything started with jump rope. Jump rope completely changed my whole life, whole personality. It sounds crazy, and I always say jump rope, and it sounds a little bit dumb, but it's just basically sports. When you're a loser, which I was, I could describe myself like that. I couldn't stick to anything. I couldn't keep my word for 2 days, for a day. No, when I say I'm gonna do this tomorrow, and tomorrow it comes, and nothing is that. You know, sport showed me with showing up every day with just a small effort. When you think about the bigger picture in the future, in about 6, 7 months, 1 year, 2 years, everything will be changed. And basically this came up with me losing weight, me becoming even a little bit more attractive, getting more attention than I used to. But that's everything also connected to with me losing weight, which is connected to a jump rope. Consistency.
Yeah.
And it's make the cycle, if you can do this cycle of being consistent, and just turns out it applies to everything, it applies in everything too. So just a small thing like 10 minutes jump rope a day, it's like cool.
I don't think that there was a huge shift through what you were talking to me earlier about what you were before that. I think you always had the mentality within yourself that you can achieve great things, that you aren't a loser. So I'm not really sure about that, but maybe you felt like a loser.
I definitely felt like a loser. I wasn't satisfied with everything I do. Also, when you have these friends of yours, which are, you can say toxic, but it's not actually so toxic. It depends on what kind of person you are. But when they just joke with you, hey, you're doing this, you're doing that, it's a joke, but sometimes it hurts, right? This actually, for me, it always turned into drive. I mean, I had an older brother. Every time I saw something and I didn't manage to do it, he was like, ha, 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 look at you, you know? I learned from him to turn everything to drive, and at the end, I was like, I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove it. Exactly.
I've seen, like, personally, people here in Tulum, they're like 30 people outside, half of them recognize him and ask him for pictures. But I know that could get in your head, receiving so much praise, but at the same time, you're being seen by so many people and there is hate. Do you think that reaches you, or are you over it? Do you like use it as a motivation, or you're just like numb to it at this point?
To be honest, for my profile on Instagram, I don't really get that much hate, if I'm being honest. But if there is something, I try to understand them, first of all, because there is stupid people that are just jealous. Yeah, I can describe it like, yeah, that's their problem, you know, that's their problem, that's not my problem. But there are also people which which somehow give you constructive criticism, exactly that. And sometimes they're right, but to be honest, most of the time I don't get really bothered by haters.
For me personally, it's weird. I can't grasp the idea of being seen by tens of thousands of people. And one thing I've noticed for you is that you are exactly the way you are in your videos. You're that way in real life. And sometimes I feel like if I were to be seen by thousands of people, then I have to say the right words, act the perfect way, be a specific type of person to be accepted. And I really acknowledge that about you, and props to you that you're like so positive, so upbeat. It shows in your videos that you're living your authentic self. I think that honestly, that's one of the reasons why you're so big, because like we've talked about this, people can see through the screen. Even now, if somebody's watching this video, they can sense the energy even without the words and the truth in it. So you've actually built a huge business out of this whole social media fame and changed so many lives. I've personally seen people thank him daily for them losing 20 kg, 25 kg, changing their life, their identity in its entirety, which he already told me that that's more fulfilling than the business itself. But when it comes to business, what's next? What's next for SwissSkip? Where do you want to take this? What is your vision, at least in the upcoming years? One new product lines?
Well, first of all, the next step is to be the #1 jump rope brand in the whole world, which it's really fast on its way. We're not that far away anymore. And I think it's going to happen in the next 2 years, I would say. That would be the first thing. And second, I just want to make the jump rope as one of the #1 exercise that you can do.
I think there was a really cool slogan. I'm not sure whether you confirmed that, but let's make the world skip, which is
exactly. And so I already say cowboy house and I'm different.
Noble wording mission for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Even I myself started jumping rope these last couple of days, being trained by him on technique and everything. And when I usually go workout, I do like 1 hour, 2 hour workouts. And sometimes I don't feel my best, but here, even if it's for 10 minutes, I'm like gasping for air every 30 seconds. And I feel super refreshed after that I committed and with such high intensity. And this is definitely something that I'll be taking on afterwards. So if you had the chance to talk to your younger self, let's say it's Dayan before he went to study abroad and work, what would you tell him? Knowing what you know now, but not really specific, just were there any doubts ever that you're gonna chase this entrepreneurial dream and succeed, or if you're built for it?
So one thing about me that I always knew is that I was always gonna make it one way or another. They're all gonna make it. Then I really remember even the moment I was born, the moment I was okay with a consciousness, you know, when I was a kid, I always knew that somehow I was gonna make it. It sounds really crazy, but it's really like that. At one point, maybe my goal was not that far. I just was ready to have a normal job, which is not that bad, of course, but I just thought I'm born for something big, something bigger to.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel, you know, the last couple of days when we were together. Like I've raised the bar many times for myself, but I kind of stagnated. And now like speaking to you and like going about the day, it's definitely contagious. And I'm taking it with me. So what would you tell your younger self?
Nothing different. I'm just going to tell about keeping on. Don't stop. Don't start. As easy as just don't stop. That's it. That's probably it. Everybody that's searching for advice, so if you're doing something, just don't fucking stop, nothing else.
What's next for you? What's next for the brand? What's next for you in your personal life?
Not much, to be honest. I'm gonna be a father, which nobody actually knows about that, and it's quite amazing. It's quite amazing. I'm extremely happy. A huge year is coming now. 2026 is gonna be crazy. I'm much more motivated than I've ever was.
So after 7 years of living in Zurich, you decided to move back to Bulgaria, which I'm personally very excited about because I love spending time with him, and it's going to be easier for us to meet up. He has huge things planned for 2026, and I can't wait to see them come to fruition, because with his consistency, with his work effort, and with his smile, I don't think that it's possible for him not to succeed. So if we can take away anything from this video, I would say it's pretty much to decide exactly what you want. Like specifically, it could be a small goal, it could be a big goal, and just dice it down into a small habit that you could repeat daily and just cement your identity, who you are, day in, day out. And with time, it's going to become your second nature, and it's going to come easy to you. Just like he said, he never had doubt that he's going to make it in his own way somehow. Yeah, one way or another. So I really appreciate you inviting me here. I'm really spending the time of my life. So guys, Thank you for watching. Make 2026 your best year yet. Don't stop.